The count is 0-2. The count is 1-2.
Strike 3, you're out.
M strikes out looking. Collier pitching. That ends the bottom of the first. 1 run, 1 hit, 1 error. Placentia Punishers 10U, 1. SBP 10U goal, 1. Leading off for Placentia Punishers 10U will be Zaha, then McMillan, then Collier. It's the top of the second. Placentia Punishers 10U, 1. SBP 10U goal, 1. Zaha steps up to the plate. The count is 0-1.
Take him, man. Go in, man.
Take a base.
Zaha is hit by pitch. A pitching. McMillan steps up to the plate. 1 on, no 1 out. Pickoff attempt at first. Zaha advances to second on error by pitcher A. McMillan grounds out. Second baseman L to first baseman M. Zaha advances to third. Collier steps up to the plate. 1 on, 1 out. The count is 1-0. Collier triples on a line drive to right fielder Zaha scores. Placentia Punishers 10U, 2. SBP 10U goal, 1. Godsey steps up to the plate.
Oh,
1 on, 1 out. The count is 1-0. Call your scores on wild pitch. Placentia Punishers 10U, 3, SBP 10U goal, 1. Godsey doubles on a fly ball to left fielder S.
I'll hold on to it. Don't do that. Dude, don't do it. Oh no, he took it from me. Ow. Bro, what was that?
Baranek steps up to the plate. 1 on, 1 out. The count is 0-1.
Ball 1.
The count is 1-1. Godsey advances to third on wild pitch.
Ball 2.
The count is 2-1.
Strike 2.
The count is 2-2.
Foul.
The count is 2-2. Marinette grounds out. Second baseman L to first baseman M. Gogsy scores. Placentia Punishers 10U. 4. SBP 10U goal. 1. Glenn steps up to the plate. The bases are empty. 2 out. The count is 1-0.
Ball 2.
The count is 2-0.
Ball 3.
The count is 3-0.
Break 1.
The count is 3-1.
Take a base.
Glenn is hit by pitch. A pitching. 1 on, 2 out. Miles steps up to the plate. They're 0 for 1 today. Pickoff attempt at first.
Ball 1.
The count is 1-0. Glenn steals second.
Break 1.
The count is 1-1. Glenn steals third. Miles lines out to third baseman C. That ends the top of the second. 3 runs, 2 hits, 1 error. Placentia Punishers 10U. 4. SBP 10U goal. 1. Leading off for SBP 10U gold will be R, then B, then C.
You're gaining 0 advantage. Yeah, of course you are. You can have a guy that's all. Come on.
It's the bottom of the second. Placentia Punishers 10U. 4. SBP 10U goal. 1. R steps up to the plate. The count is 1-0. R singles on a line drive to left fielder Glenn. B steps up to the plate. 1 on, no 1 out. Pickoff attempt at first.
Ball 1.
The count is 1-0. Pickoff attempt at first.
Foul.
The count is 1-1. Grounds into fielder's choice. Shortstop Giano to second baseman Baranek to first baseman Esparza. R out advancing to second. 1 on, 1 out. C steps up to the plate. They're 0 for 0 today.
Ball 1.
The count is 1-0. Pickoff attempt at first. The count is 1-1. B steals second.
Strike 2.
The count is 1-2.
Strike 3, you're out.
C strikes out swinging. Collier pitching. B remains at second. S steps up to the plate. 1 on, 2 out. Pickoff attempt at second.
Strike 1.
The count is 0-1. B steals third. The count is 0-2.
Ball 1.
The count is 1-2. S flies out to center fielder Oborn. That ends the bottom of the second. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. Placentia Punishers 10U, 4, SBP 10U goal, 1. Leading off for Placentia Punishers 10U will be Oborn, then Giano, then Esparza. It's the top of the third. Placentia Punishers 10U, 4, SBP 10U goal, 1. Oborn steps up to the plate. They're 1 for 1 today. The count is 1-0.
Break one.
The count is 1-1.
Ball two.
The count is 2-1. Oborn singles on a hard ground ball to center fielder B. Giano steps up to the plate. They're 0 for 1 today. 1 on, no 1 out. Pickoff attempt at first. The count is 1-0. Oborn steals second. Pickoff attempt at first.
Break one.
The count is 0-1. Oborn steals second. Giano singles on a ground ball to third baseman C. Oborn advances to third. Esparza steps up to the plate. They're 0 for 1 today. 2 on, no 1 out. The count is 0-1. Giano steals second. The count is 0-2. The count is 1-2. The count is 2-2. Esparza doubles on a line drive to center fielder Bioborn scores. Giano scores. Placentia Punishers 10U, 6. SBP 10U goal, 1. Zava steps up to the plate. They're 0 for 0 today. 1 on, no 1 out. The count is 1-0. Zava singles on a ground ball to left fielder Esparza scores. Placentia Punishers 10U, 7. SBP 10U goal, 1. 1 on, no 1 out. McMillan steps up to the plate. They're 0 for 1 today.
So you're using that as
Pickoff attempt at first. The count is 1-0. Zava steals second. McMillan singles on a ground ball to second baseman. Elzava advances to third. The count is 1-1. The count is 1-2.
Ball 2.
The count is 2-2.
Ball 3.
The count is 3-2.
Strike 3, you're out.
Baranek strikes out looking. A pitching. Godsey remains at second. Glenn steps up to the plate. They're 0 for 0 today. 1 on, 2 out. The count is 0-1.
Ball 1.
The count is 1-1.
Ball 2.
The count is 2-1. Godsey advances to third on wild pitch.
Ball 3.
The count is 3-1.
Ball 4. Take a base.
Glenn walks. A pitching. Godsey remains at third. Miles steps up to the plate. They're 0 for 2 today. 2 on, 2 out. The count is 1-0. Godsey scores on wild pitch. Placentia Punishers 10U. 10. SBP 10U goal. 1. Glenn advances to third on the same pitch. Miles pops out to second baseman Al. That ends the top of the third. 6 runs, 6 hits, no errors. Placentia Punishers 10U. 10. SBP 10U goal. 1. Leading off for SBP 10U gold will be Al. Then A. Then A. It's the bottom of the third. Placentia Punishers 10U. 10. SBP 10U goal. 1. L steps up to the plate. L pops out to shortstop Giano. A steps up to the plate. The bases are empty. 1 out. The count is 1-0.
Strike one.
The count is 1-1. The count is 1-2. A singles on a pop fly to right fielder McMillan. One on, 1 out. A steps up to the plate. They're 0 for 1 today. Pickoff attempt at first. Into a double play. First baseman Esparza to shortstop Giano to first baseman Esparza. Out advancing to second. That ends the bottom of the third. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. Placentia Punishers 10U. 10. SBP 10U goal. 1. Leading off for Placentia Punishers 10U will be Oborn, then Giano, then Esparza. It's the top of the fourth. Placentia Punishers 10U. 10. SBP 10U goal. 1. Oborn steps up to the plate. They're 2 for 2 today. Lineup change. See in at pitcher. The count is 1-0.
Break one.
The count is 1-1.
Hey, where's my contact? Here, that's it.
Oborn flies out to center fielder B. Giano steps up to the plate. They're 1 for 2 today. The bases are empty. 1 out. The count is 1-0. Giano doubles on a fly ball to right fielder R. Esparza steps up to the plate. They're 1 for 2 today. 1 on, 1 out. Esparza doubles on a fly ball to right fielder R. Giano scores. Placentia Punishers 10U, 11, SBP 10U goal, 1. Zava steps up to the plate. They're 1 for 1 today. 1 on, 1 out. The count is 1-0. Esparza advances to third on wild pitch. Zava singles on a ground ball to shortstop A. Esparza scores. Placentia Punishers 10U, 12, SBP 10U goal, 1. McMillan steps up to the plate. They're 1 for 2 today. 1 on, 1 out. The count is 1-0. Zava steals second.
Ball 2.
The count is 2-0. Zava advances to third on wild pitch. McMillan doubles on a line drive to center fielder B. Zava scores. Placentia Punishers 10U, 13, SBP 10U goal, 1. McMillan advances to third on error by second baseman L on last play. Collier steps up to the plate. They're 1 for 2 today. 1 on, 1 out. The count is 0-1. Collier singles on a line drive to center fielder B. McMillan scores. Placentia Punishers 10U, 14, SBP 10U goal, 1. Godsey steps up to the plate. They're 2 for 2 today. 1 on, 1 out. Pickoff attempt at first.
Ball 1.
The count is 1-0.
run.
The count is 1-1. The count is 1-2. Godsey singles on a hard ground ball to left fielder as Collier advances to third. 2 on, 1 out. Baronick steps up to the plate. They're 0 for 2 today.
Ball 1.
The count is 1-0.
Oh, he got it! I know him! I know that dude. Wait, he's not an out?
Godsey advances to second on defensive indifference.
I'm out of play.
The count is 1-1.
Strike 2.
The count is 1-2.
Strike 3, you're out.
Baronick strikes out looking. See pitching. Collier remains at third. Godsey remains at second.
Yeah, see on YouTube. Yeah, I saw it yesterday.
Glenn steps up to the plate. They're 0 for 0 today. 2 on, 2 out. The count is 1-0.
Ball 2.
The count is 2-0. Glenn grounds out. Second baseman L to first baseman N. That ends the top of the fourth. 4 runs, 6 hits, 1 error. Placentia Punishers 10U, 14. SBP 10U Gold, 1. Leading off for SBP 10U Gold will be S, then C, then N. It's the bottom of the fourth. Placentia Punishers 10U, 14. SBP 10U Gold, 1. S steps up to the plate. They're 1 for 1 today. Lineup change. Giano in at pitcher. The count is 1-0.
Strike one.
The count is 1-1.
Ball two.
The count is 2-1.
Strike two.
The count is 2-2.
I got it!
The count is 2-2. S pops out in foul territory to third baseman Godsey. C steps up to the plate. They're 0 for 1 today. The bases are empty. 1 out. The count is 1-0. C grounds out. Shortstop Miles to first baseman Esparza. M steps up to the plate. They're 0 for 1 today. The bases are empty. 2 out. The count is 1-0.
Strike one.
The count is 1-1.
Strike two.
The count is 1-2.
Strike three, you're out.
M strikes out swinging. Giano pitching. That ends the That's the end of the game. Placentia Punishers 10U get the win over SBP 10U Gold 14-1.
Oh.